Welcome back, everybody. This is Zach with New England Sports Talk, and today we are recapping the Raptors versus Warriors Game 1 NBA Finals. I know this video is a little late here for you guys. I recorded it today, and I'm posting it today, even though it happened last night. But I still wanted to get it out for you guys. I watched the entire game. I just am working out in the morning, so I wanted to get in bed as soon as I could. Didn't have time to put the video together, render it, upload it to YouTube. It takes forever on my laptop that I have. So I wanted to just go ahead and post it today just in case anybody wanted to check it out, essentially. So before we jump in, as usual, guys, remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and comment below what you want to see out of this channel. If there's something you want to see specifically, and I'll get it done for you guys. All right, so coming into the game one, crowd was insane from the get-go. And they didn't stop pretty much the entire game. There was some parts where they kind of quieted down, but for the most part, they were rowdy as heck. They were out, they were about, they were supporting the Toronto Raptors. So a couple of things before we go over the first part, or before we go over the first quarter. Jordan Bell is starting. We know that DeMarcus Cousins is in the game. He's going to be playing in today's game, but he's not getting the start. Jordan Bell actually is going to be the starting center for the Golden State Warriors. Kevin Durant is obviously still out as well. He may not even be back for Game 2. He may not even be back for the entire series either. We've got to wait and see. But all reports are saying that he's at least ruled out for Game 2. I really hope I don't see a series without Kevin Durant. Obviously, that would put the Raptors in a really good position to win. But I still want to see, like I said, I've been saying this entire series, this entire playoffs, I want to see the best players against the best players. I don't want to see injuries. I want the best to play against the best, and I want to see what the results are, essentially. So let's get started, guys. Let's go ahead and go over this. Also, one more thing I wanted to mention, though, is Golden State has never lost. Well, I wouldn't say never. They have not lost a Game 1 in like 12 series. They've won 12 straight Game 1 series, or Game 1s in a series, excuse me, is what I meant to say. So history's on their side, but let's go over what happened and kind of see what happened here essentially in this game. So right off the bat, Steph was on fire. He hit three of 6 in the quarter from three-point land, 11 points in total in the first quarter, and he was fantastic in his off-the-ball movement as well. He did a really good job, and that's really obvious. He always does that, though. Him and Clay, that's their thing, right? They're good three-point shooters, but they're even better off-the-ball movers and freeing themselves up and freeing their teams up for the best looks possible as well. Marc Gasol, on the other hand, on the Warriors side, he did really good as well, too. He had 8 points in the quarter, 2 of 3 from three-point land, and oh my gosh, his three-pointers were wide open. The Warriors were not switching in rotation. They were not. They were just standing around. Like the two three-pointers that Marc Gasol hit, they were wide open, and nobody moved forward to go get them. And he hesitated and took his time with the shot. Still got it off. No big deal. It was easy money for Marc Gasol, especially in the first quarter. Now, about 4:22 left, I wanted to bring this up. Klay Thompson had a pretty big transition dunk as well. Probably got rid of a travel, but that could have been also a gather step. They didn't call it, so it's not a travel, essentially, is the way that I see it. It could have been a travel, but they didn't call it, so we can't say it's a travel because they didn't call it, right? Refs do miss calls every once in a while, and I totally get it, but it's the way that the NBA is now. Sometimes it's a gather step, sometimes it's a walk or a travel, whatever. In this case, they didn't call it, whatever, move on. Second quarter, we finally get our first sight of DeMarcus Cousins. He starts in the second quarter, and this is the first time we've seen him in the since Game 2 in the first round. So like 14 games went past or something like that, and we haven't seen him. Glad to see him back on the court. He's in his 9th year, and this is his first time he's going to be in the NBA Finals, and he's a fantastic talent. So I'm happy for him. I hope he can kind of deliver. But in the first quarter, it wasn't happening, right? He had 0 for 2 from the field, 2 for 2 on free throws, though, so he did get fouled, and he got 2 points out of it, but 2 assists, 1 steal in 4 minutes. So I think he looked a little winded when he got subbed out. I think that's probably what it was. Just kind of getting back in that motion and kind of getting back into basketball shape and that kind of thing again. And I think he will. He did come back in later into the game, but for the most part, he was pretty ineffective the entire game as well. Again, I think it was just due to conditioning and trying to get his body back in shape for the playoffs, obviously. In the second quarter, we're going to stay in the second quarter here for just a few more minutes here. 6:33 left. Livingston had a pretty big block on Kawhi Leonard. Fantastic. I wanted to mention that as well. About 3:36 left in the second quarter. Iguodala had a wide open dunk, went straight down the lane, and it was a big dunk. I really enjoyed that one. Pascal Siakam did respond with a pretty big three of his own. Not bad. This whole entire game, it was the Raptors will score, and then we got to see how the Warriors respond. Or the Warriors score, and we got to see how the Raptors respond in transition or whatever. They've got to attack after being scored on, and that's essentially the story of these two teams in Game 1. They both did that really well, and the Raptors, for the most part, had a pretty big lead for the majority of the game, but we'll kind of go over that in just a second as well. About a minute 47 left in the second quarter. Kawhi had a big and one over Steph Curry. Curry got called for the blocking foul. From that point, Kawhi Leonard was getting an MVP chance. He makes the free throws. The Raptors go up by 7, and the crowd is loud. They are loud, and they are pumping them up for this Toronto Raptors team as well. Now, Draymond Green does get a swing through right after that and1 foul by Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is guarding Draymond Green. He gets a swing through foul. That gives Kawhi Leonard his third foul. And I'm getting really annoyed with seeing these calls not being consistent as much anymore. Where I thought they got rid of the swing through foul, but then Draymond Green does it and there's no call. I'm sorry, there is a call, but it's a free throws for Draymond Green. Like, what the heck? I thought this was not a foul anymore. They're still keeping it as a foul apparently. Whatever, I don't get it. But anyways, I hate that move, the swing through. It's not gone apparently, even though we thought it was. With about 10 seconds left in the half, Danny Green hits a huge three, got the crowd pumped up. The Raptors end up leading, I guess, the half 59-49 over the Warriors, so they're up by 10 at halftime. Third quarter, Toronto keeps the distance with the lead. They're doing a really good job at that. Although about 5:13 left, Marc Gasol gets his fourth foul, so you could sense some trouble in that part. But Pascal Siakam was really the huge story of this game. This was the Pascal Siakam's game, and he ended the game. I'll just tell you his ending numbers with 32 points in 39 minutes, 14 to 17 shooting, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. That is a stat-packed stat sheet or whatever you want to call it. It's a stat-packed night. I guess that's the way I should have said it. And he did absolutely everything. He really helped his team, and Kawhi Leonard as well. Both helped their team really well, especially in the third quarter. Now, by the end of the third quarter, though, Pascal and Kawhi each had 24 points, and the rest of the Raptors only had 5 points in the third quarter. So a lot of the scoring came from Pascal. The majority of it came from Pascal, and the other side of the scoring came from Kawhi pretty much the entire third quarter, and the Warriors were never able to kind of respond and make up for it. But with about 30 seconds left, Patrick McCall hit a big three with the shot clock winding down. That was a big one as well. I wanted to mention that also with the shot clock winding down. About the fourth quarter now, the Warriors bench was really helping them kind of narrow down the deficit, so to speak, where they were getting some rest for their players and stuff like that, for their stars, and the Warriors were doing a decent job. The Warriors bench were doing a decent job as far as trying to come back and cut down the deficit as much as they possibly could. About 8:22, Steph does come back. The Raptors are up by 10 at that point. Lowry gets his 5th foul, though, in the next possession. And again, you're trying to see, is this foul trouble, is it going to be consistent or not? You know, Marc Gasol had foul trouble. He ended up fouling out as well. Can Kyle Lowry, who's been a big part, even though he didn't have a big scoring night for them tonight, can they? That's their primary ball handler, right? So can he still be effective even though he's got fouls and that kind of thing? Now, 7:31 left. Danny Green hit a huge three. That gets the Raptors up by 12. Golden State has to call timeout. And the Raptors, this was really the point of the game where it kind of got out of hand, was they go on a 10-1 run at that point. With about 7:31 left, like I said, before the Warriors had to call their timeout. Now, about 5:18 left, the Raptors do get in the bonus. That only helps them even further with the fact that now they're in the bonus, so every time they get fouled, they're shooting free throws, right? And that was pretty much it as far as the recap. The Raptors did go on to win 109-118 against the Warriors. So huge game for the Raptors. I totally forgot actually that the Raptors were going to have the home court advantage this series. I didn't even remember that, and I found out like the last couple of days or whatever. And I made a bet for $100 that the Warriors were going to basically sweep this series. I made it like a month ago, so don't hate me, but I didn't realize it until now. And then I realized when I started watching the game and a few days ago also, I saw that the Raptors had home court advantage, and that changed. I was so not confident anymore about that bet. But it's okay. The reason why I bet $100 was because the Cleveland Cavaliers with LeBron James got swept last year. They didn't win a single game, even though they could have won the game in game one, but they didn't because of J.R. Smith. Whatever, not a big deal. But I figured the Warriors are still going to sweep them. I didn't expect DeMarcus Cousins to be injured. Didn't expect Kevin Durant to be injured. Thought it was a good bet at the time. Didn't pan out. I'm down $100 now. So, but anyways, guys, that was my recap for this game. Again, the Raptors take game one. We're going to see game two, and we'll do another recap video of that as well. Let me know in the comment sections of what you thought and who you're rooting for in game two. See you guys.